Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
The XRP Crypto Wolf, XRPL is trending, but look what else is trending. Hashtag Trudeau for treason. This guy, I told you, this guy is going to go the way of what I always heard that was it Khrushchev that the Cuban Missile Crisis. I always heard they literally banished him to like Siberia to live out his years because of that debacle. But anyway, Trudeau, I don't know what in the world this guy's thinking, unless he has some kind of agenda that has nothing to do with his country. The idea that your people are gonna be screaming from the rooftops and you're just gonna ignore them and do what you want to do. That doesn't end well. Okay, now, listen to this. This is Charlie Munger, who is Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett.
Munger's views on crypto are pretty well known. Several years ago, I think he called it rat poison, maybe rat poison squared. The 98-year-old is still not a buyer of Bitcoin. In fact, he remains skeptical of crypto investing overall.
Well, I certainly didn't invest in crypto. I'm proud of the fact I've avoided it. It's like, you know, some venereal disease or something. I just regard it as beneath contempt. Some people think it's modernity and they welcome a currency that's so useful in extortions and kidnappings and so on and so on, tax evasion. And of course, the envy, everybody has to create his own new currency. And I think that's crazy too, so I'm not having it. I wish it had been banned immediately. And I admire the Chinese for banning it. I think they were right and we've been wrong to allow it.
Now listen, folks, I'm going to have a different take than anything you're going to hear anywhere else. Now, because this is the difference between, in my opinion, this is the difference between people in the XRP community and the rest of crypto. They tell you Bitcoin's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We tell you what's good about Bitcoin and we tell you what's bad about Bitcoin and all the other things. I'll say it again. No utility, no real value, okay? It's only perceived value by, whatever marketing machine is propping it up and pushing it if there's no real utility. What he's saying, here's where Charlie Munger's wrong. What he's saying is he's towing that same line, oh, this is all used by money for money laundering and all. That shows he doesn't understand cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are more trackable than the cash in his pocket. I believe they were intentionally designed that way by the governments that created them. And I do mean governments, okay? They were designed, they spent years towing that line he just said about, oh, it's for money laundering. And they knew that it was trackable and they were watching, folks. Write it down. That's the way this went down. Now, here's where, and you need to understand this. I'm going to talk from a little experience here. During the dot-com bubble, okay, because these guys aren't stupid. They may be older. Charlie Munger may be older, but they're not stupid. Remember that. Now, back during the dot-com boom, they were saying, oh, this is a new business model. This is, these dot-coms have .com on the end of their name, and for that reason they can go into massive amounts of debt, and it doesn't matter if they're not making any money now. 10, 15 years down the road, they're going to make money and da-da-da-da-da. Well, at the time, I remember a speech. Maybe it was after the fact that he made the speech, but I remember Warren Buffett saying, I don't invest in that stuff, and everybody made fun of him the same way that they're making fun of this guy now. Everybody made fun of him, and they said, oh, he's old, he's past his time and all that. They said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And what he did, I remember a speech when he said, listen, when cars were first invented, he said you had thousands of car companies. And he said, now what do you have? You have Ford, Chevy, GMC, you have just a handful. This, folks, listen to my words. This story ends the same way. These guys will have redemption in a way. Not necessarily about Bitcoin. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is these guys will be redeemed because they'll be right. Even Brad Garlinghouse himself has said that with digital assets, you're gonna 99% of them are gonna go away because that don't have utility. I believe that it's always been the plan that the government is going to decide which ones of these survive and go through the door, and that's only going to be somewhere in the 5 to 20 range, and the rest of them will either be made illegal or they will be somehow destroyed through regulation or something. That's the way this story is going to go down, because they're not going to let, it's like, that's one thing he said that's accurate. Everybody's trying to create their own currencies. Yeah, at some point they're going to cut off the spigot on this, okay? And so your job and my job is to decide which ones are the chosen ones from the government. And that's what I've tried to spend my time doing on this channel. So that's my take on what he just said. But mark my words, these guys, he may be 90 years old or whatever he is, but he's not dumb, and don't count those people out, because not only is he not dumb, but those are the people. Remember, Warren Buffett was on the phone during the financial crisis. He's getting a phone call from Hank Paulson, who was the then, the Treasury Secretary. Warren Buffett gave a bailout to freaking Goldman Sachs, okay? So don't think for a minute that these guys don't know what's coming down the road and aren't on the phone with these guys and know. But Gary Gensler, these guys own the Gary Genslers of the world. All right, I'm not going to play the video because I can't stomach watching this guy, but I thought it was hilarious that CNBC not only is not asking him any questions about the Ethereum free pass, but they're having Jay Clayton on to discuss Department of Justice probes, when the truth is that he should be in the middle of a Department of Justice probe. That is the sick world we live in. Now, Nick Birafado from Link2 tweeted this out today. We are running very low on Uphold. Shares available on our platform. Download Link2 app to view our investment summary and why it's one of the top sellers. And here's where it shows you top sellers are Ripple, Uphold, Link2, and then down here, Carbon. Those are the 4 top sellers. Go check it out. They may have a little bit left. Monica Long pumped for StatusNet. Is that what this is called? Status yours? To bring its leading Euro stablecoin to the XRP ledger. Stablecoins have existed on the XRP ledger since 2012-13, providing easy on-off ramps for devs to use the OG DEX for hyper-efficient liquidity. It's good stuff. New York, there's a lot of adoption pieces, little adoption snippets of news here, folks. This thing's happening, folks. No question about it. 2 years ago, I can remember sitting in this same chair just thinking, man, this market's down to $100 billion. I know that we're right about this thing, and I'm watching articles about, it's all going to go to zero and all this kind of talk, and I was like, man, this has to be a lie, what they're telling us, trying to make us think this is going to zero, because this is here. All right, and I was right. We were right. New York Stock Exchange embraces digital assets, files for NFT, crypto metaverse related licenses. Now remember, folks, don't forget a little company called Bakkt. They went public. It was kind of quietly. They went public, and the price has come down. In my opinion, that's something to look at, because Bakkt is a crypto exchange that is owned by the New York Stock Exchange. Make no mistake, these guys are in the game. They know what's coming. Watcher Guru just in, for the first time, the number of U.S. citizens holding crypto, 24%, has surpassed the number of citizens with savings accounts. Now that's pretty significant, I think. All right, let's see here. All right, this is from CNBC. Some lawmakers and their families are betting thousands of dollars on crypto. 8 lawmakers or their immediate family have traded cryptocurrency over the past year, with bets ranging from $1,000 to as high as $100,000, CNBC analysis found. Some Republicans bought or sold crypto, including Senator Pat Toomey. Only one Democrat reported a transaction. Marie Newman of Illinois. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. The most popular crypto by far was Bitcoin with trade. Well, of course it's the most popular because Wall Street's been pumping it with their crypto media and their traditional media for years now. It's not the best though. It's not the best technology either. Blockworks had put this out, breaking Twitter adds Ethereum wallet to its tipping feature, and I thought this guy's retweet was awesome. Now you can pay $90 to tip someone $5. Thank you, Twitter. I mean, it's such a joke. I wanted to show you this. This is cool. I've told you about one of my sponsors, Masterworks. It's masterworks.io. And by the way, the link will be in the top of the description of this video. A lot of people don't realize these guys go out and they buy these paintings. They might buy a Monet or whatever for $30 million, okay? And then they put it on their platform, they tokenize it with the SEC, and then you're able to buy a minimum investment of like $500, and they're like at $20 a share. And then they've also got a secondary market. So what they did yesterday is they did a lunch and learn type thing with the people that go out and buy the artwork so people could learn about it. But this is the part that caught my eye. Thanks to our acquisitions team, Masterworks is the largest buyer of post-war and contemporary art in the art market and plans to acquire up to $1 billion in artwork this year. This is a huge thing, but more important, it's a huge opportunity for investors like you and me who may not have been in the wealthy class and been able to buy artwork. Artwork is one of the best assets that you can buy as a hedge against everything else. You know, artwork doesn't follow the S&P 500 the way some things do, but this opens up a new avenue. And especially once you're wealthy, then you go in preservation of wealth mode. And one of the key methods of preserving is to put it in things like artwork. So I've already bought one painting. I'm going to be buying another 2 in the next week or so. And it's cool because you can spread it out. 500 here, 500 there, or 10,000 here, 10,000 there, however you want to do it. Check out the link in the description of this video. Now we're going to get into the interesting stuff here, folks. Watch this. Michael at VAL5 link. SEC versus Ripple. Here's how 2012 memos can turn the tide in the Milestone crypto case. All right, this is the article. So you understand what the memos are about, I want to read this part. One of the pillars of Ripple's defense is that it simply did not know that its XRP token could be categorized as a security. The SEC, the argument goes, should have notified the company of its intention before taking the matter to court. By not doing so, the agency denied Ripple what is known as fair notice. This powerful argument could go bust, though. If it turns out that Ripple knew it was possible the SEC would take issue with the status of the token, Peter Vogel of counsel and a member of the blockchain task force of law firm Foley and Lardner explained to Cointelegraph, U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that by February 17th, which isn't that today? What's today's date? I haven't even looked. I'm pulling up my phone here. Why is the date not showing up on my phone? Yes, it's February 17th. U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that by February 17th, Ripple would have to make public sealed legal memos from 2012 from Ripple's lawyers advising Ripple before launching XRP. The SEC claims that Ripple was advised in 2012 that XRP would be deemed a security under federal law, so Ripple was well aware of the risk that the SEC would bring a lawsuit. Ripple claims that the 2012 legal memos related only to proprietary internal strategies. Okay? So here's what's crazy about this, folks. Here you've got Ripple sitting in this lawsuit as if they're these bad guys, okay? Meanwhile, we've got this guy is Steven Narioff. He's the guy that was one of the legal advisors to the guys that founded Ethereum from the very beginning. This is what you're about to watch. This is so disgusting. So the SEC not only has not gone after the Ethereum founders or Ethereum for anything, they've completely ignored anything Ethereum's done. These guys, we have it on video. I'm about to play it for you. It's on video, the exact thing that they really think they've got Ripple on the ropes in this lawsuit, the exact thing that they're pointing at Ripple over. We've got on video the freaking legal advisor to the guys that founded Ethereum telling you that they did get legal advice that Ethereum was a security. And he says it was. Don't take my word for it.
But the genius was, he came up with this and presented it to the world. When I saw this, I had this aha moment. He was in Toronto.
When he's saying, he's talking about this young 19-year-old Vitalik Buterin.
I was in Toronto within, I think it was 72 hours. And I asked him, I said, can you really build this 19-year-old little kid? And he's like, yeah, I think I can, I just don't have the money for it. And so this was a really, I don't know, this was like a game-changing conversation, I think, in blockchain. And none of us realized it at the time. And so I'm going to say at the outset, I take no credit for any of this. We were doing this because we were trying to promote a project, and I'll explain how that took off and took this life of its own afterwards. But he said to me, he said, the problem is our lawyers are telling us this is an illegal securities offering, which in fact it was, because they were saying this is a security. But that became the whole issue.
So the exact thing that the SEC is saying, look, Ripple, you're the bad guys, you knew this, you knew. We have it on video that the Ethereum guys did this. Now, I want to address something because a guy replied to me in this thread. And here's what he says. This is a bad one. Drawing Ethereum into this is as good as an attempt to draw the captain of the ship into the water. You want the whole ship to hit a rock or at least brush it, which could cause serious damage and many casualties. Be wise. Oh, well, don't you worry. I'm wise. Let me lay this out for you. And I laid it out very, very nicely here for him. No, wrong. I want a level playing field. That's all that any of us in the XRP community ever wanted. It's all Ripple ever wanted too. Ripple was saying it years ago. We want a level playing field. They were on stage with that Peter Van Valkenburg, or whatever, however you say his name, from Coin Center. Remember when Ryan Zagone said proof of work doesn't work, and he says all we want is a level playing field. He said it years ago on stage. That's all any of us have been saying. And I said, and I'm asking this guy, do you really believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum would be sitting there at number 1 and 2? Inferior technologies that they are, would be sitting there at number 1 and 2 on CoinMarketCap if people had not gotten together behind the scenes to get Bitcoin and Ethereum designated, as Lowell Ness said, to get Bitcoin and Ethereum out from under securities laws? Do you really believe that these two inferior technologies that are proof of work, which does not work to this day, do you really believe that those would be that? No, they wouldn't. In fact, XRP was above Ethereum for a good while, right around the time that all this started to happen. This was a coordinated plan. And all we ever wanted, and this might surprise a lot of you listening to my voice, I don't want anything bad to happen to Ethereum. I don't, even if they deserve it, the people that coordinated all of this, I don't want anything bad to happen to any of them. As bad as a lot of this is and as shady as a lot of it was, I don't want anything bad to happen to the Ethereum founders. All I want is a level playing field. I want the SEC to stop this farce of a lawsuit and let XRP compete on a level playing field with all these other digital assets. I want it all to go away. That's all we've ever wanted, because I know what happens when they're actually on a level playing field. XRP and XLM fly to the front because they've always been the better technologies. They work, and that's the reason all this was done, folks, is because all the powers that be behind Bitcoin and Ethereum, they knew that they could not maintain those positions if this was not done. Write it down. But no, with all that we've uncovered, no, I do not want, because I think it's bad for the industry. I do not want anything bad to happen to Ethereum or Bitcoin. I don't want anything bad. I want the industry to go forward and provide a framework and some clarity for the whole market, and may the best digital asset win. That's all any of us ever wanted. It wasn't us that did the shady stuff behind the scenes to try to engineer this market. It was them. And even though a lot of them probably deserve it, I don't want any of them to get in legal trouble or otherwise. I want the industry to just go on. But we've been forced in a situation to show what a farce this is until it does go away. And until it does go away, we will continue to illustrate the absurdity and put right in everyone's face and shout from the rooftops what a shady bunch of people these people are, because that's exactly what they are. Now, one of the guys helping in this, and one of the, in my opinion, one of the guys that deserves more credit than just about anybody is TAIG. He did an entire thread. Those of you that are listening to my voice, I'm not going to go through the whole thread, but he did an entire thread that lays out for you the entire thing and how this Ethereum thing unfolded and everything, the smoking guns. Here's a smoking gun. It says, how many smoking guns do you need? I need to write smoking gun down because that is a thumbnail. I love that thumbnail. Smoking gun. All right. So he's got the entire thread here that's the smoking gun of what was done, folks. Everything. He's got this, and look, what I just said to you, how I don't want any of these people to be gone after or anything like that. That's true, even though I think that there are things that could be, I'm not saying they are, there could be some criminality here too, a lot of it. I don't even want that gone after for the industry's sake, okay? I just wanted to make sure that was on record. So go look at TAIG's thread this morning, because any of you that have not seen the entire thing, you need to see it. Now, I also want to tie this in. John Deaton said he was retweeting. Remember how yesterday, a day or two ago, Charles Gasparino thought that maybe there was an Ether investigation going on? I think John Deaton is 1,000% right here. These guys, Gary Gensler and friends, need an out in this thing. John Deaton says, think about it for a minute. What's the absolute best play for the Ether Foundation, Vitalik, Lubin, etc.? Cut a deal. It would give Ether certainty moving forward. Gensler is receiving all this pressure related to the free pass. I won't be surprised to hear about a settlement. And then he says, what does a quick settlement also do? There's a thumbnail, quick settlement. That's always good too. Let me write that down. Quick settlement. Now keep in mind, he's talking about a settlement between Ethereum and the SEC, not Ripple, folks. What does a quick settlement also do? It prevents a lengthy investigation into the disguised whales who participated in the ICO. It also gives Gensler a public win. How quick would the Ether founders pay the $18 million that was claimed to have been raised? And see, this is why I think John Deaton's right. The Ethereum pre-sale, technically, they raised $18 million. But I believe that the I won't call it a criminal enterprise, but whatever the disguised whales went on, this was more about a multi-billion-dollar operation, folks. So if Gary Gensler was actually treating this the way he's treating it, going after Ripple, he wouldn't ask for $18 million. He'd go after billions, because he's got Joseph Lubin in a video talking about disguised whales. With that disguised whales video, I'm no lawyer, but I don't know how in the world you get out of that without some really bad things happening. But look, like I said, we were forced to have to show this stuff. None of us wanted to go down this road. We were forced. But even with the disguised whales video, again, I don't want anything bad to happen to these guys. All I want is for them to step away from the shenanigans that they did to engineer all of this. And I want the SEC to step back and do more what Hester Pierce is saying. Look, let's do a safe harbor here. This market can't be built around something like this. She knows what's going on. Now, Attorney Jeremy predicts the outcome. He was did a video the other day, and this is the final. You don't have to read the whole article. It says the most probable resolution is a settlement, and that hasn't changed since the beginning, he was quoted as saying. Now, finally, I'm going to finish here. XRP meme guy said, when the cameras stopped rolling in the Liz Clayman interview, they caught Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin hanging out with Gary in his living room, which I don't think he has left since this thing started back last 2 years, Gary's been holed up.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.